This film is inspired by true events. It is set in Chambal, Madhya Pradesh, India. In the beginning of the film, a driver is taking someone of importance somewhere. But there is a trap set in the road. One of the people in the car is shot. 4 evil men approach the car and take it for themselves. They loot the vehicle, getting money from their boss for the valuables. They are part of a gang and work for an evil man named Tiwari. The next day, they drive the stolen car and plan to rob a truck next, which will be carrying valuables. They pass a bus, where a girl named Apurva plans to surprise her boyfriend Sid in Agra for his birthday. He calls her, thanking her for his surprise party in the office. Meanwhile, the evil men try to pass the bus, but the bus does not let them pass. This angers them and they keep hooting. But he passes the bus through the field and makes the bus stop. The 4 men get out and confront the bus driver. They assault him and then kill him, which leaves the passengers of the bus horrified. They enter the bus, robbing the passengers. Apurva's phone rings, it's Sid and one of the criminals answers. She tries to get it back. He tells Sid that he is taking her away. They take her away in the stolen car. Then we are taken to a few months in the past, where Apurva was learning to drive, but failing a bit. She and her parents went to meet another family for an arranged marriage. Sid and Apurva got along well and started liking each other. They went on regular dates and started falling in love. Soon they got engaged. They were still living long distance, but Sid revealed that he had gotten a job transfer to her city. She was very happy. Back in the present, they tease her in the back of the car. Meanwhile, Sid arrives at the crime scene where the bus is. He is very worried about Apurva, but it's clear that the police are doing their jobs on their own terms. Sid is angry because they are not taking this seriously. But the policeman informs him that there are certain checkpoints that have not been crossed yet. If the police go into the men's villages looking for her, her life will be in danger. A policewoman hands Sid Apurva's phone. The criminals take Apurva to a deserted place. They throw her around and taunt her. They laugh, while Chota records a video, laughingly. She slaps the phone out of his hand and he gets angry and slaps her, which causes her to become unconscious. This angers Sukha. The men see a random man passing by and call him closer. He says that he is an astrologer from a nearby village. He sees that the men have guns and he is very scared. He begs them to leave him, as he has a family. They ask him to predict Chota's future. He does, which angers Chota, who slaps him. They also throw him into the empty carriage. Apurva wakes up, seeing the astrologer. Chota goes to collect water from the well, while the others plan to kill the 2 people they have captured. Apurva unties the astrologer and slowly makes her way out of the train carriage. They both manage to run away. Chota is on his way back with the water, when Apurva accidentally runs into him. He is very angry and grabs her. She scratches him and manages to get away. She runs and falls, and he trips over her, causing him to hurt himself. She grabs the bucket and hits him with it. The others hear him screaming. She had killed him and cries in shock. The others look for him and find him dead. They think the astrologer must have killed them. Apurva runs as fast as she can but is lost in the brick ruins. She runs and trips, almost falling into a well. She rests somewhere safe. The others hunt down the astrologer. They hit him, accusing him of killing Chota. They shoot him. Apurva is shocked and cannot believe what they had just done. She searches the astrologer's body and takes his cell phone just as it rings. The others came to check if he had a phone. They realize she must have took it, so they need to find her. Meanwhile, Sid waits for any news. The policeman has some leads. Those men who kidnapped Apurva are likely the same men who killed 3 other men on the highway the previous day. He asks Sid to come to the police station. Apurva finds a private place to make a call. She makes the call and Sid's phone rings, but it appears he had already saved the number of the astrologer, whose name was Tara Chand. But Sid does not answer. Apurva feels frustrated. It rings again and the driver asks Sid why he is not picking up. In the past, when Sid and Apurva said their goodbyes, he had boarded a bus. He sat next to the astrologer, who predicted his future. But before the astrologer could tell Sid about his future, it was his stop to climb off. He had given Sid his number, as he would later tell him something very important. Saad's phone rings for the 3rd time and he answers very angrily. He is shocked to hear that it's Apurva. She fears for her life and mentions that they had killed Tara. She says the names of the guys, which are Sukha and Chota. But she cuts the call as Sukha comes closer. The policeman asks for any details. Sid tells him that she had mentioned their names, Sukha and Chota. The policeman knows they are part of a gang called the Ranga Gang. But the policeman is scared of them. They arrive at the police station, where Apurva's father is waiting. The policeman wants to eat his dinner first, which annoys Sid, as they are wasting time. But the policeman does not want to do anything at night, as there are 36 active gangs. He will continue in the morning. Apoorva calls again, while she is hiding in the well. She is shocked to hear that the police won't do anything until the morning. Sid asks her for any type of landmark. She describes what could be an empty train yard/village. He asks her to send her location from that phone. She tries to get better signal, but loses her balance and drops the phone in the water. Luckily, Sid had received her location. Jugna looks for her and shines his light into the well. Apoorva climbs out and hides in the bushes. She finds a sickle in the ground and takes it. Sid is anxious about a plan he about to carry out. The policeman comes past and Sid stops him, asking him for help, because he has a flat tire. Sid takes his gun and orders him to get in the car. Sid's friend stays with the police officer while Sid takes the bike. Apoorva suddenly runs into Bali. He orders her to undress. He starts to undress and she stabs him between the legs. Jugna wants them to rush to the hospital with Bali, but Sukha remains relaxed. He wants to find her first and he wants to marry Apoorva. Sukha keeps searching for Apoorva, calling her Pinky. Apoorva places pieces of her clothing between the bricks as a marker or trap. Apoorva shines the light in Sukha's direction, making him come closer. Jugnu and Sukha speak loudly, so that Apoorva will hear that they are going to the hospital. They drive off, but Sukha gets out and Jugna turns the car around. Suddenly she runs into Sukha. She runs away, but then also runs into Jugnu. She smiles when she sees her cloth she had set as a marking. She runs fast, the Jugna falls into the well. Sukha tells him that he will find a rope to get him out. Apoorva shines her torch down the well. Jugnu is frightened when he sees her. She starts throwing rocks into the well. Sukha returns, but finds that Jugnu is dead. Meanwhile, Sid is near with the motorcycle, Apoorva is at the car and again stabs Bali. Sukha sees Bali dead on the ground. He shoots at the car. He checks to see if Apoorva is inside. He tries to start the car, but the battery is dead. He opens the hood and reconnects the battery. Just then, Apoorva is sitting in the driver's seat. She runs Sukha over. Meanwhile, Sid had arrived near where Apoorva is. She drives the car into the field. Sukha comes after her and climbs onto the car to see where she is. Apoorva walks on train tracks and is very exhausted, when she just collapses from exhaustion. Sukha finds her laying there. She wakes up and walks further. He keeps calling her. They hear a train coming and she throws rocks at him. But he manages to grab her and holds her on the tracks. She bites him, which makes him let go. They both jump out of the way, just in time. She feels relieved, thinking that he is finally dead. But then he calls her and asks her to save him. He reminds her that he had never touched her. The other three did, but he respects her too much. He wants to marry her. He keeps asking her name. She picks up a heavy rock. She holds it above her head and tells him that her name is Apoorva. She throws the rock on the ground, killing him. She reaches a small house with railway officers and asks to make a call. She calls Sid, who is still searching for her in the field. She breaks down as he answers the phone. We don't know if this is because she is relieved after all that has happened, or because she is upset that he wasn't able to save her. That she had to save herself.